Hey everybody, welcome back to Music Dad Reacts, where today we are going to be listening to Noah Kahan's Stick Season. This is Rachel. I am Dad.
It's just Noah Khan.
What'd I say?
You don't say the H.
Kahan?
Yeah, it's just Khan.
Khan?
Khan.
Like Star Trek 2? Khan!
Just like that.
I don't even know Star We are listening to Noah Kahan's Stick Season today. I've never heard this. So, I have heard the version of this first song, which is called Northern Attitude, where he did the duet with Hosier. We jumped on that and published it the same night it came out.
I was so excited.
That was pretty fun. So go check that out on our channel if you are interested. So I have heard this song, but then after this, I don't think I've heard anything unless it's been on in the background when Rachel's playing it in the car or at the house. Here we go.
Here we go.
Northern Attitude.
You like the finger picking, right?
I like that.
Yeah.
That's very nice. Oh, and it's layered. A couple layers there.
Starts out pretty calm.
Breathing in, breathing out. How you been? You settled down, feeling right.
He's asking a lot of questions.
Yeah. There's a certain
You build a boat,
accent.
you build a life.
Yeah.
Where's he from?
I don't know. Wait, that's like the entire concept of the album, actually.
Was he American?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean
So good.
I love when that happens.
Yeah. You too.
Indie folk needs more drops.
Agree.
if I get too close.
Good.
It's so good. And so sad. It's so good.
This is very singable. I want to sing along.
Yeah. Like in the car, blasting.
Oh yeah, you can
Yeah.
belt this.
Yeah.
Judo, I was raised on little life.
Goes right back into this.
Build a life.
No more question marks
No.
after the
Lose
lines.
your wife. You settle
It's-
down.
Sad.
Kicking rocks.
Somehow it just gets me every time. It's not like I'm ready for it. It's just every time it's like, oh.
I love that. You know the drop's coming.
Yeah.
And it makes it so satisfying when
Yeah.
it hits. It makes you wait for it.
Yeah.
It's great.
I was raised out in the cold. If the sun don't rise, forget my northern attitude.
Oh, we're gonna have.
Yep. We got some oohs and some ahs.
I love this. I love losing us.
It's sad, but in like a beautiful way. It's a beautiful sad.
Yeah.
That's the right word, like retrospective, reflective.
I guess it's surprisingly upbeat considering the content.
That's a common joke with this whole album. Really upbeat music with the saddest lyrics you've ever heard.
Oh, okay.
Northern attitude. Oh, I was raised on little.
I love that. Just the plain and simple, you know?
Yeah, we should talk about his voice.
Yeah. Let's.
Tell me about. So you said I love that, and it was basically everything had dropped away, and it was just his
Just
voice.
his voice.
So, is his voice a real selling point?
For me,
you?
it is. Yeah, for me, it is. I really like indie folk, and I think sometimes there's a type of indie folk singing. Some people call it singing in cursive, which is really funny. But there's a type of singing that I can't entirely get behind, and I don't think he quite goes there. It's a similar sound for me to as like the Lumineers and stuff like that, where I just it's good and it feels kind of raw and just vulnerable and.
Yeah. Okay. So he's got the right voice. Yeah, for the genre. I was noticing how it is distinctive.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I haven't, again, I've heard this one song in two different versions and I haven't really heard anything else, but I think I can already say that you could recognize his voice.
Right.
When a song comes on, it'd be pretty easy to go, oh, that's Noah Kahan.
Yeah.
And so that is good. I think that's a good thing because this is a pretty busy genre lately, right? So it's good to have like his an identity as an artist figured out in the way you're going to deliver your stuff. So we'll see how that goes. This could be, we're going to see how we do here. I wonder if his voice is going to end up being the kind where I say that I like all of these songs, but I can't sit and listen to the whole album all the way through.
I think it definitely could be.
And maybe because I do this a lot where I make playlists. Well, Rachel and I you should see our playlist.
Yes, you should.
Maybe that needs to become part of what we do here.
I love that.
We love making playlists. So definitely some songs will go on a playlist.
Yeah.
Where the point being, I'm listening to him in maybe smaller chunks.
Yeah, and I honestly think that that's how I like doing it too. I looked at this album as a whole before we sat down and listened to it, and I was like, I like every single one of these songs, so why don't I listen to this album as a whole as often? I think it's just because sometimes, like, the sound, it's not too repetitive, but his voice is the type of thing where I like it scattered in with everything else, and it's really enjoyable. But yeah, I mean, like you said, with like that drop and stuff, there's a lot of distinct things that I think he does with his music that sets him apart, and that's why he blew up so fast. So I think it could be for that very reason. He's definitely different than other people in the genre, but still hits the spot.
Excellent, very cool. Let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
Let's see what we got next. Stick season.
This is the one that made him blow up.
Oh, okay.
As you must combine, you must have had yourself a change of heart, like halfway through the drive. Kept on driving straight and left our future to the right. Now, love Vermont, but it's the
think he's from
season of the
Vermont.
sticks, and I saw your mom. Half my fault, but I just like to play the victim. Each night of some version of you that I like, and I'm split in half, but that'll have to do.
Okay, so yeah, lyrically he fits into this genre well.
No longer funny, 'cause I miss the way you laugh. But it's the
Picks up a little
season of the
more.
sticks, and some I'll drink alcohol till my friends come home for Christmas. Now you're
Okay.
tired.
I'm pretty sure right now his voice is being doubled,
Okay.
and I like that.
Yeah?
Yeah, the first verse was more raw, I guess.
Yeah.
Now we're adding more layers.
But then
Your mom, she forgot that I
guess it's similar to what he does in the Attitude.
my fault.
Yeah, I hear it.
Well, definitely now he's harmonizing.
Yeah.
This is nice.
Yeah. Classic. So good.
Okay, that was
What'd
good.
you think?
So I liked it. I liked it. It was pretty fast, which actually I kind of like.
Yeah.
It which has a. I'm not going to say this song is in this genre. So, but remind the rhythm, the tempo remind me of like bluegrass.
Oh, okay.
You know, a little bit, and I think that's part of what kind of makes bluegrass fun is that it's a little bouncy and stuff.
Yeah.
And so again, we're coming back to that idea we mentioned where
Yeah.
the lyrics are like a sort of a juxtaposition to that.
Right. Pretty heartbreaking, but you're kind of
Yeah.
bouncing. Yeah.
Now I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Now you know who Bob Dylan is.
Yes.
Okay. Does he ever get in as you're learning about him and you're following him on out there? Does he get? Are there mentions of him with comparisons to Bob Dylan?
I haven't heard any. I haven't seen that around, but I see kind of where you're getting that. They have a similar-ish sound, I guess. But
Yeah.
I haven't, at least of my knowledge, I haven't seen that comparison made.
Yeah, well, and I'm wondering on both levels, on both the way how he sounds as a singer, and of course, he's very different from Bob Dylan in the way that you can understand what this guy's saying.
Sure. Sometimes. Most of the time.
But I mean, what I mean is sort of definitely a tenor, like higher in the register,
Yeah.
and so that's one way of comparing, and then the other way of comparing is like the quality of the lyrics, right?
Yeah.
You know, Bob Dylan is
Quite the lyricist.
quite the lyricist.
Yeah.
And deserves to be remembered for being as such.
No, I would agree. Yeah.
Now, that being said, I don't care to listen to Bob Dylan because I just can't get
Yeah.
over the way he sings.
The way he sings his voice.
So I'd rather read, I guess I'd rather read Bob Dylan.
Yeah. Like poetry.
Yes. So this is, to me, already more enjoyable than Bob Dylan. And please understand that I'm not saying this is better. I'm not
Right.
saying this is better than Bob Dylan.
But for your interests and your
But what I'm
liking.
saying is that this is pretty enjoyable, and I would be curious to see where this guy goes, right? And how the music press and all of those, critics and whatnot, how they treat him as because is this his first album?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
It's not. It's the one that blew up.
So how many we got?
3.
Okay, so compared to Bob Dylan, he's a young artist.
Yeah.
He's young in his career.
Right. He is.
So there's room to grow. So yeah, so I don't know. This would be interesting to see how that goes.
Right.
But again, I think just that kind of tenor that he started in there was what made me think of Bob Dylan for a second.
Okay.
I really liked when he started to double track and then also harmonize.
Yeah.
When it comes to this kind of stuff, if you've watched our videos before, I really do appreciate good production.
Yeah.
And I guess I do appreciate slickness.
Sure.
Smoothness. So that's part of why I don't listen to indie folk all the time.
Right.
Because a key feature of indie folk is to get your emotions out there.
Right.
And be
and not have it too produced.
Raw
it's
and
just,
not be super produced.
Yeah. Right.
Yep. So
I think he does a good balance of that.
in this song, that was a really good balance. Of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I agree. That's
Yeah.
a good way to describe it.
All right.
Okay, are we ready?
Yep. Next we have All My Love.
How have things been, well, love? Now that you mention it.
I like his voice in this register quite a bit. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
this.
And you can definitely understand what he's saying with this, which is nice.
Yeah.
But you know how it gets out.
Really like that bass guitar right there. It's filling it in.
It is.
We'd shake the frame of your car. Now I know your name. There ain't a drop of bad blood. It's not all my love. I'm still out here. I'm the same as I was. It's all my love.
Ah, that's cool.
Oh, I love this one.
This is
Again,
how it is, of how
so
it
sad,
was,
but
how
you're
it has to be.
you're kind of bouncing.
At the end of it all, I just hope that your scars heal.
Yeah, that's nice.
We won't shake the frame of your car. It's all my love. You got all my love. It's all okay. There ain't a drop of bad blood. Well, I leaned in for a kiss 30 feet from where your parents slept. I look so confident, babe, I swear I was scared to death. Now I know your name, but not who you are.
I really like his voice in this one.
Yeah, I do too. It's really good.
Until this year stole the words from my tongue. It's all my love. You got all my love. You got all my love.
Man.
So that is, I liked that picture he paints of when they're younger, and kind of like dropping her off after a date, probably
Right.
kind of first kiss kind of thing.
Yeah.
And those, we've talked about this in other videos, like you get the butterflies in your stomach and,
Right.
or whatever.
He
So
said he smiled stupid the whole drive home.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that was cool. I like that. And then yeah, it's kind of sad,
Right.
but it's I like the being sad. You'll think about the good times,
Yeah.
and this song is a good execution of that idea.
Mm-hmm.
Does he? Didn't look up any credits or anything. Does he play? Does he do most things himself? Does he have a band?
He does most things himself. When I got to see him live this past year, and it was him and different types of guitars, various types of guitars on stage. So
Okay.
yeah.
So, because I'm wondering about the backing vocalists, were there other people there?
Yeah.
Because there was a bit here where it was kind of a higher pitched thing, and
Right.
I was wondering if it was a female backing vocalist.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not sure. When we saw him, I'm pretty sure it was just him, and he didn't have any background vocalists. But I wouldn't be surprised if he has some in here. Could be. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But I hear what you're talking about. I liked it. I really liked at the end. He had the O's and the ahs in the background, and it was, yeah,
Yeah.
really, really cool.
Well, that was good. I like this one. I'm
Right.
enjoying. I'm really enjoying each of these songs
individually.
I'm taking each song by itself right now because I haven't heard the album.
Yeah.
So I can't comment on the album.
Definitely continue to do that.
But I'm listening to each song, and I'm enjoying each song.
Yeah, I think so I talked to you kind of about like the concept of this album is so much of him staying where he is and living where he is, and the fear of change and the fear of moving on and all of that, all of those things. And that's kind of a theme in a lot of these songs. And I think that, maybe for him personally relates a lot to his different coping mechanisms that he's been through with all of those feelings. But I really love it because as much as some of those parts are not relatable, a lot of the ideas of like, I'm someone who is so scared of change. And so I've really loved a lot of the raw and vulnerable lyrics in this album because those are parts that I do relate to, and I'm like, yeah, that's so true. Like it's hard and it's scary and it's kind of sad. And it was a really good album to come out right before leaving for my first year of college. So yeah, it was a good one. But
you and this artist are closer in age and maybe a little bit closer in like life experiences,
right?
Things like that, where this resonates with you,
right?
On a different level, which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that about different artists and different music.
Right.
So, ready?
Yeah, ready.
For the next one? Here we go. She Calls Me Back.
Oh, there was heaven in your eye. Everything's alright.
See? He's double tracked. It just gives it.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it a lot, like this.
Everything's alright when she calls me back.
Ooh, there's a little groove now. Okay. All right. Oh, interesting. The vocals came right to the middle. Little reverb on it.
Okay.
This has a different feel than
It does.
the other songs.
It's getting more into the indie rock a little bit.
Yeah.
A little more edgy.
Why am I so obsessive, hanging on to every sentence? I still dilate 229931667.
That wasn't a complete thing.
Nope. He mentions that at the beginning of his concert. He said, don't try to dial this number. It's not going to work.
Missing a digit.
For a long time.
Yeah, I like the guitar.
I love that guitar.
Everything's alright when she calls me back.
I love how the guitar fits in with this style and is just short of full-on twang. It's really tasty.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh.
Here's that one over there.
Yeah.
Kind of a higher.
Right. Got some backing vocals.
Yeah.
Oh, there was heaven in your eyes.
This feels like it was meant to be released as a single. It's slick, it's highly produced.
He did this one with Casey Musgraves.
Really singable chorus.
This is a fun one live because everyone screams the number.
That'd be fun. This feels like this would fit really well on someone's like a soft rock playlist. Mixed in with a little Dire Straits.
Living life in your footsteps, in your heart open. Living life in your footsteps. Calls me back. Still she calls me.
Okay. Yeah. So I really like that one. And I like the lyrics are more upbeat on this one, right?
Yeah.
This is more like I'm in love right now.
Yeah.
And that's great. And so I was kind of saying like, I think it would fit on like a soft rock playlist or like even a yacht rock playlist.
Oh, okay. There's a couple of these songs from this album that that were on my summer playlist, and so that feel a little more upbeat, a little more, and even if the lyrics are not quite happy, it's definitely on the like happier end of things, and so this was one of them that I had on my more upbeat playlist because it's fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this works for summertime. And Northern Attitude really works for fall. I think we did the Hosier duet. We reviewed that or listened to that in the fall, and
and it was
felt
perfect.
like it felt
great.
Yeah, we were like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah.
That one might be my favorite so far.
This one was my favorite. Was one of my favorites live.
Okay.
Yeah, I had like 3 where I was like, oh, and this was just like fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you right there yelling out the number?
Totally. I've got that memorized.
That's great. All right, let's do the next one.
Next time.
This is called Come Over.
Oh. This one hurts.
There's a coffin buried under the carpet crying.
I love the imagery.
Yeah.
And picture it.
The sad house on Ball Street. You won't have to come over.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
Come over. I'm in the process of clearing out cobwebs, but it feels like a fortress.
I like that. Oh, this makes me want to cry.
Yeah.
Come over.
This bridge is so good.
I know that it ain't much. I know that it ain't cool. Someday I'm gonna be somebody people.
It really is a great line. The imagery. Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Much more emotional on his delivery, because it's just him and the acoustic instrument all by himself there for a while.
Yeah.
And this, I really like the poetic nature of his lyrics here.
Yeah.
This is a winner lyrically
Yeah.
for me.
Me too.
Musically, it's I if you're gonna do the okay, I'd like this.
Okay.
Because we all know by now, and if you haven't, watch more of our videos. We all know for now I'm a sucker for oohs and ahs, and nonsensical syllables, chanting, whatever, because it's just so fun to sing along. But
Yeah.
I'm also a sucker for like the slow build,
Yeah.
right? Where we layer, and then a new layer, and then another layer. And this song does a great job of that without going beyond where it should.
It's still a mellow
It still
song.
stays, yep.
Yeah.
It still stays lyrically focused.
Right.
And those images, or the analogies or whatever it is, right? Those are cool, you know.
It totally paints a picture, at least for me, it paints this picture in my mind. And I feel like
Yeah.
I can just see the whole thing, you know?
Yeah.
And it's...
I could
Yeah.
literally picture the house
Oh, yeah.
looking the way he kind of describes it,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I can picture a sad looking house like that.
Right. And he said, like, in that bridge, you know, he says, like, my dad will strike it rich and will be the big house on the block. And so, like, he just wants to be somebody people want. And I just, like, it paints that picture, and it's just,
Yeah.
it's just good.
It speaks to that core need that we all have to be seen
Yeah. And accepted.
and accepted, and to have to be loved by someone.
Yeah.
And so he's pleading for whoever it
He's
is
almost begging, yeah.
to come over. And I think that those songs are really powerful.
Yeah.
And this was a good example of it. This one didn't need like that big drop we had in
No.
Northern Attitude.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to go there. We want
Right.
to stay in the space that he
Yeah.
created in the first couple verses.
And just feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really letting us feel the lyrics and what he's saying. He's not like he's not adding to it with the instruments and the production and stuff. He's just like, listen to what I'm saying, and you can feel it, and it's just perfect.
Yeah.
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 This is a really good one.
Really good. All right, let's see what's next.
Happier one, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay.
New perspective.
Okay.
Oh, silence is making me nostalgic. You made Ohio feel just like Central Park. Attention deficit kids in their gym, and mine's full of receipts. Ooh, this town's for the record now. Target.
The intersection.
They're calling it
They're calling it downtown.
You and all of your new perspective now.
So am I picking it up right? There's kind of a yearning for being back in the simpler times.
This is someone he knows who moved away and has this new perspective that's all great, and he's like, no, this town. It's our small town.
He loves the small town, and
And
he's
he doesn't want to leave.
He's saying like kind of like you're missing something.
I think a little
by having
bit.
moved away.
I think so.
You've gained this new perspective, but this old one is good too.
Yeah.
Because this line right here, and mine
Yeah.
is full of receipts. That's interesting. What?
Yeah.
It's like he's remembering.
Experiences just from there. I don't know. This next part feels like feeling all of your new perspective. You know, wish I
Right.
could shed it in a closet.
Paper bags drift wherever.
I like the whistling. I don't know if I've ever heard that before.
This also has that electric guitar that's really tastefully being done, and the bass.
And they're calling it downtown.
Really cool layered vocals here too.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that, especially
Yeah.
in stereo. How that was
Bouncing
pinging
back and forth.
a little
Yeah,
bit.
that was fun.
So that line, he repeats over and over and drag you back down. It makes me think maybe that part of this new perspective that this person has is that now they're sort of
Superior.
up on a high pedestal.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine that he wants to be a jerk
Right.
and take someone who's gone off to the big city and is doing well and drag them down.
Right.
I don't, in a negative way.
It's
I
like
don't think
get off of your high horse.
I think it's more like that.
Yeah, like this is your hometown. Don't don't be bagging on it.
Don't crap on us. Yeah.
Well, and then also there's that like insecurity of like from this song and from a lot of the other songs, the story he's telling is that he stayed there and he's not leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sure a lot of that is like, you're getting a little defensive and just the like, you're not so great because you left. Like, we can be great. Like the people who are here and stayed, we can be great too.
Right.
It feels a little bit like that, but also it's one that I don't entirely. We could be totally wrong. I don't really know.
Maybe we're just it's the
right,
first time I'm ever hearing it, so just throwing a few ideas out there. But
Yeah.
let us all know in the comments, like if this song resonates with you, what it means for you. I'd love to hear about that. All right,
Okay.
let's see what's next.
Okay.
Everywhere, everything.
This is a love song.
Oh, good.
I love this one.
Okay.
Would we survive in a horror movie or two slow moving? Trust everyone we meet. Didn't know that the sun was collapsing. Everywhere, everything. Wanna love you to prefer for the words to eat.
This song.
I love it.
Wow. It.
Everywhere, everything.
When I realized when he was saying this chorus, I was like, oh.
I love this. It's so weird that it makes it fun to sing.
Yeah. And I think his voice sounds really good in this one.
It does. It sounds good, yeah. I like the switching between fantastical imagery and then literal.
Drive slowly.
See, like this is literal.
Right.
It's been a long year, and all of our books pages dog and forget to read.
See, and that's more lyrical
Yeah.
and not literal.
In this part too.
Yeah. It's a beautiful love song that includes that there's going to be sadness or there's going to be difficult
Yeah,
times.
there's going to be a lot of difficulty. But he just wants to love that person.
Everywhere, everything. Essentially till the end of time.
Right.
Without using the cliched phrase
Till
till
we
the
die.
end of time
Yeah.
or till we die. Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes it fresh. And it's a fresh take on it,
Right.
and it's fun to sing. I really like this one. Yeah.
But I love this part.
This is cool. He hasn't done this on the album yet. He has it stretched out a little bit on a instrumental break. So this is really cool.
Decompose. I'll keep my hand in yours.
I like the way he used his voice on this one as well.
Yeah.
Not at all going into that, what we talked about, where sometimes indie folk can get a little grating or a little raw.
Yeah.
This was really well produced, really well put together. and like I was saying before, I love the going back and forth between imagery. Why can't I think of the word I'm looking for? Lyrics that are not literal and that are evoking
Hyperbole?
evoking an image, like the horror movie thing.
Right.
But then bringing that back in a related way to real life,
to
right?
what's happening.
Would we survive a horror movie? Oh, and we're dating each other at a drive-in movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I love that it's almost like he's in real situations with the love of his life and just thinking, like, have you ever done that thing where you're sitting there and you're not talking and your boyfriend's not talking, and then one of you is like, what are you thinking about?
Yeah. Right.
I think that's
how
what
that
he's
feels.
doing.
Like you're sitting there like, I think we survived the
Yeah.
exactly. No, probably not.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I love that there was a space for a raging guitar solo there.
Yeah.
We didn't get a raging guitar solo because it's not what he does.
Right.
But just that he did spend a little time
musically
with a little instrumental break. That was cool. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I really like this one. And this is a happier
Maybe
one.
this
This
is
one
my
makes me
favorite
happy.
now.
Yeah. I like this one. I'm glad we're doing this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was not expecting this. This was really good. So far, this album is having a really good mix of sad songs, emotive songs, and then more positive, like I'm currently in love songs, and not going through a breakup right now or whatever. I'm digging this.
I think they're all emotional, but it's not all bad. It's a lot of just speaking how you're feeling, and like I said, like such a big concept of this album is growth, but I really like that not all the songs are like, I'm sad, this is scary. A lot of them, like, and as we continue to go through this album, like, a lot of them are just like, he's almost at peace with a lot of these emotions he's feeling. He's not like sad and angry, and it's really beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Nice.
really like it.
Nice.
Right.
All right, let's see what's next. Orange Juice.
This was my favorite live. Like, by far.
It's pretty chill right now.
Honey, come over. We know you got sober. There's orange juice in the kitchen. Just glad you could visit. That I didn't. Why'd you go?
Really good harmonizing.
You said my heart has changed and my soul
I'm loving this percussion.
that my face has changed and I haven't drank in 6 months. Now I'm third in the lineup to your Lord and your Savior. Where you'd gone. So why'd you go? You said you said my heart has changed and my soul has changed and my heart that this town had changed. You had not. We all just close to you now, just pulling you down.
Feels like a reference to perspective.
You didn't put those bones in the ground. Honey, come over. It's yours if you want it. We're just glad you could visit.
Okay.
That was a good song. It with all of the features that I've talked about so far on the album, so I won't like dig into that too much.
Yeah.
It's interesting lyrically. It's obviously the other person, struggle with alcoholism. Sounds like maybe there was some sort of crash,
Accident.
some sort of real moment where they were like, I have got to get
Yeah.
cleaned up. They get cleaned up, they find God, and they're different. Their heart has changed, their soul has changed, their life has changed.
And the town hasn't.
This guy hasn't, and
Yeah.
the town that he's in hasn't. And it's interesting, but it's being sung from his perspective of things are changing around me.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I like it.
And I don't know if I like it.
Because ultimately, right, it's almost like he's pleading for this person to come over and just like, could we see if there's a connection that we could still have?
Yeah.
Could we maybe talk about like how things are now?
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's almost like a little bit like you made a reference to new perspective. There's the thing in here. It's like, is he worried about being left behind?
Yeah.
From everyone else growing,
I think it's
beyond the town.
It feels like it's some of that. I also feel like there's that bit of ignorance that he's recognizing of he never really asked why they left and didn't really consider that maybe it was, all of these other factors, and it felt like he was taking it personally, and like he just wanted to spend time with this person.
Yeah.
He didn't even care about all of the reasons that maybe they've been gone, and
that, honestly, that line felt a little immature to me.
it did. Yeah.
Like, come on, dude, you know why this person
Yeah.
had to leave.
Right.
They were in a destructive lifestyle.
Yeah.
And he makes an allusion to him being part of that destructive lifestyle by being passed out on the person's lawn or whatever. And, I think we've talked about this a little bit that on this album, and maybe this is, because we have more of the album to hear.
Right.
Maybe this is more of a complete theme on this album, that he's got some growing to do.
He's got some problems. Yeah.
And I think this is interesting as an artist. We've talked about this before, or maybe it was when I was doing, listening to Olivia Rodrigo with your sister. But, I think it's pretty cool when artists can write from right in here or from a perspective.
Right.
Where
kind of constructive criticism on their self.
Yes.
Yeah.
Self-awareness.
It's self-awareness.
Self-awareness is really interesting in music, this kind of music, and especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Because I think so much of what we see all the time on social media lacks self-awareness.
100%.
And so it's pretty cool. And maybe that's some of the draw that makes these artists resonate with people, almost on a subconscious level.
I think so. I think that's not something you can find in a lot of songs, like an artist singing about their own flaws. Like, I can't even imagine how hard that is to do, especially when you know that you have a pretty wide audience. Like, that's not easy,
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I also think that in some of these songs, there's explanations and, here's why I'm feeling this way. Here's why I did this thing, and then there's some where it's like, it's just blatant owning up to, kind of not like owning up to a mistake, but just like being very honest and self-aware about a lot of emotions that might not be the healthiest. And I think that's not something you find often in a lot of songs nowadays. Yeah.
So that part, I like it.
Yeah.
For those reasons that you were just talking about there.
Musically?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I love this song musically. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a pretty sounding song. I really do like it when he double tracks or his voice or does the harmonies with himself. I really like that.
Yeah.
I think it's really effective. I think that whoever is producing this with him, and maybe it's self-produced, but I just think that's a good artistic decision.
Yeah.
Especially because he does have the ability to do the solo lines all by himself.
Right.
Letting the voice crack.
Yeah.
And those artistic decisions to do that at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're doing a good job.
Yeah.
with when he should do it this way and when he should do it that way.
Right.
So I like that. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
What's next?
Moving on.
Strawberry Wine. Wait, is this a cover? Didn't Strawberry Wine come up in that crossword puzzle we were doing last night?
Remember, I said, hey, that's a coming out gun.
But it was referencing
A different, someone else's song.
Yeah.
But do you know that original song?
No.
Okay, I don't think it's a cover.
I have to look that up. But...
If I could lose you, I would bury your bones in blood.
That's it.
If I could lose you,
I really like the simple
I
guitar.
love is fast asleep on a dirt road with your head on my shoulder.
His delivery right before this sounded a lot like Paul Simon.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Darling, you, if I was empty space and you were formless shape, we'd fit. Love these little runway, and every time I run straight over it.
Here's some ooze for you.
Mm-hmm.
This one really stays calm, like the whole time. I kind of like it.
It's kind of long. It's taking its time right here.
Yeah,
It's like he wants to just kind of stay in the space.
just sit. Yeah. Every time I put this song on intentionally, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, wanting to get this vibe.
Yeah.
Just hang out in this vibe.
Mm-hmm. I really like that. Keeping the same rhythm of the guitar, but having the song.
Yeah, the whistle is cool. Like how he has it further back in the room so it's not annoying.
Yeah.
You know, it feels like he's back from the microphone again.
Right.
Oh, this is really cool how it's kind of dwindling away.
Yeah.
It's not exactly a fade out, is it? It's almost like we're just getting quieter.
Yeah.
Wow, that was cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a mood piece.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's one I don't normally revisit unless I'm looking to sit in that emotion, that specific feeling, and this is making me appreciate it more actually, listening to it in this setting and in this context. It's really beautiful.
It is. It's a beautiful song, and it's totally a mood piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where this would be one of those things where I wouldn't really want my stuff to put this on a playlist, like unintentionally.
Right.
This is a song where I'm like, oh, this is for this.
This is for this playlist.
Playlist.
Yep. I've got it on 2, and I'm like, yep, that's perfect. Those are the perfect playlists for that. And it's just, I agree. It's very specific to a certain mood you're wanting to feel. And I think that I've noticed, I mean, I have like this whole album in my liked songs on Spotify, and this is one where I often skip it. And so sometimes in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, I skip it because it's not as great of a song. And that's not the case. It's that it's very specific towards what you're feeling. And if you're not really feeling it, it doesn't feel right necessarily to listen to it. So,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good one.
Ready for the next one?
Ready for the next one.
What's this called? Growing
So I
Sideways.
took my medication and I poured my trauma out. And we argued about Jesus. Finally found some middle ground. Said I'm cured. But I'm still angry at my parents for what their parents did to them.
Oh,
It's a start.
Yeah.
I can relate to that.
I'm terrified that I might never have met me.
Well, this is exactly what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Spend my savings at a Lulu. Now I'm suffering in style. I pain so damn.
It's not funny, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Like it's gotta, but I ignore things and I move sideways. Yeah, I know there are worse ways to stay alive.
Really like the ooze in the back.
Have met me. Oh, if I guess I'll try. And if all my life was wasted, I don't mind. I'll watch it go. It's better to die numb than feel it all. Oh, if all my time was wasted, it's better to die numb
Yeah.
But I
He's-
ignore things
Stuck right now.
and I move sideways. Lord knows there are worse ways to stay alive. I'm terrified.
It's a feeling I think a lot of people know too well.
Yeah.
With my engines worst
Yeah.
perfect. I guess I'll try.
See, this one's interesting because he's not saying that he doesn't want to live. You know, he wants to live. And he's like, you know what? If the only way I can keep going is that I ignore these feelings and I push them away, like, is that the worst thing? At least I'm still going, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just, it's not good.
But he knows that, he knows that
He
then he's
knows,
only
yeah.
going sideways.
Yeah. He's not actually growing.
Actually growing. It's
Yeah.
just growing sideways is a great title because
Yeah.
it's a oxymoron or whatever, you know.
Mhm.
He's growing older,
Yeah.
but he's staying in this rut,
Mm-hmm.
and he's numbing the pain with whatever.
Yeah.
Because he makes reference to medication, and
Mm-hmm.
and there's been other references. I don't know if it was in this song. Yeah, I think he says something about his liver
Mm-hmm.
in this song, which is, makes you think of alcohol
Right.
and stuff. So he's numbing the pain instead of because he is afraid or doesn't want to feel all the feels.
Yeah.
Um,
At the beginning there, he says that, he got to a place in therapy where he said, I'm cured, and took a step away. And I think that's a really interesting thing to say, because you can feel like you get to a place where you're good, but you're not quite growing. And that's kind of what he's saying.
yeah, he's not cured.
No, he's not. But like, that's the easy thing to say,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a sad one.
Yeah. This one hit me pretty hard over here.
Yeah.
I relate to this too well.
Yeah.
From years in the past. I've spent a lot of time in the place where he is right now in this song.
Mm-hmm.
Spent a lot of time there, and I feel like I wasted a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I can, for you folks out there, sometimes I get real on these videos.
Yeah.
Sorry. For you folks out there that are in this space that he's in right now, I've been there, and I can tell you that it is worth it to feel the feels that are going to hurt and that you don't want to feel and that is going to be hard to do. It's worth it to not numb the pain anymore and to go after it.
Yeah.
And you come out on the other side having grown. And then life is much more full of joy, and
Yeah.
you gotta, there becomes a lot more to live for, and a lot, you get your energy back and get your desires back to do things and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So whoever's the character, or if it's Noah himself, whatever, I hope that they stop growing sideways and start
growing.
growing
Yeah.
forward or whatever.
Growing forward is a hard thing.
Yeah. But this song really is powerful.
Yeah, it is.
And like you said, I think there are a lot of people who are in this place.
Yeah.
Because I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there. And so sometimes these songs can be the kind of thing you need to hear several times, and it can actually have an effect on you
Yeah.
in a positive way.
Right.
You know?
It helps you feel like you're not alone, but then it brings sometimes your own self-awareness that you might not have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it awakens something
Yeah.
where you're like, that's me.
Yeah.
What? How many more? What
I
is
think
this?
we've got
Where we said
this is where we're gonna
Take a
cut
break?
it. Take a break.
for today?
Yes.
So sorry, we got to take a break. The clock was ticking on this, and I'm glad we could go through half of it if you count the bonus track version.
Yes.
Or
Half of the
whatever.
album. Half of the deluxe album.
Awesome.
Yay. Thanks for being here.
See you next time.
Bye.
Oh, and I'm always the one that forgets this. Please like and
Oh,
subscribe
and subscribe.
and share it.
because we love you.
Give
and
us
we
those
love
comments.
this.
Yep. I'm totally
Yes.
new to Noah Kahan, so love to hear from you folks out there that are his fans.
Yeah.
You know, what's your favorite songs? What are the songs that resonate with you? Love to hear about it. Yep.
Tell them the fun facts.
Tell me the fun facts. Yeah, I
Yes.
like that too. All right. We'll see ya.
Bye.
Bye.